This is Leslie Easterbrook, and this is Random Questions.
Okay. Well, I haven't had anyone do my makeup, so we'll just have to go from
You're
here.
beautiful.
Okay.
What do you love?
I love daytime.
What grosses you out?
Bad manners.
What's your middle name?
You know, I'm going to start over too, but keep this.
Okay.
But what do I love really truly is generosity.
Ah.
It's one of those things that just makes my heart go, it makes it beat.
Yeah.
I think a world without generosity would stop beating.
Absolutely.
And what grosses me out
Yeah.
is people who are rude or don't show any kind of respect for others.
I agree with you. What's your middle name?
Eileen.
Eileen. What did you eat for breakfast this morning?
I ate a yogurt parfait.
What music do you dislike the most?
I don't think I dislike any music. I have a music major. That's what I was in college, an opera major.
That's right.
But I also took a lot of composition. And, you know, I like 12-tone, I like rock and roll, I like Motown. I mean, I like
bit of
everything,
everything.
you know, classical and
Right.
pop. It would be really, maybe I was going to say off-key music. But you know what? There's entire
Still
genres of
music.
music where everything's off-key,
Right.
and it still works for me.
Do you collect anything?
Compliments.
Do you have any weird habits?
Not that I can think of. You'd have to ask my husband.
You ever been in a fight before?
Many.
Really?
Yeah, you mean fist fights?
Physical?
Yeah, as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I was the biggest kid in my class, so I always
So
had
you're
to
a
fight.
bruiser.
Yeah. Well, I had to protect kids that were being taken
Aw,
advantage of.
that's nice.
It is nice, but my mom used to think I was absolutely crazy to come home with a bloody nose, and she'd say, why? And of course, at that point, I didn't lie. I only learned to do that later on.
What was your favorite Halloween costume as a child?
Little Lulu.
Little Lulu. What about your favorite Christmas present as a kid?
Wow.
What did
that's
Santa give
interesting.
you that you just
Well, you know,
loved?
Santa's. I was always disappointed with my Christmas presents because I always wanted the one that was in the magazine. And I'm old enough that, you know, they weren't really on television. I grew up in a little teeny tiny farm in Nebraska, and we didn't have TV until I was 10 or 11, and my
goodness.
grandfather got the only one. So we didn't see things advertised on television. And we'd see them in catalogs and magazines. And I always wanted, like it was a doll, I wanted the special doll that they had the pictures of for that year. Well, we didn't have enough money for that doll, so I'd get a doll, and I'd pretend like I really loved it, but it wouldn't be the doll
Right.
that I really wanted.
Right.
And it's hard for me to admit that because I sound so ungrateful.
Well, you're a kid.
But I don't remember a really favorite Christmas present.
What was your first car?
An American Rambler. It was like, oh, there's a name for it. Yeah, it's the Rambler American, I think is what it
Oh
was.
my gosh. What was your first job?
It had seats that laid down.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Leslie's
Don't
getting
ask.
dirty on
Don't
us.
ask.
What was your first real job?
My first real job was selling magazine Time. It was the summer between I was going from high school to college. So I used to sit in a room and call people up and try to get them to take magazines.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't very good at it.
Do you have any nicknames?
Bunny.
Bunny.
I was called Bunny from the time I was a little kid, and then I was in an original Neil Simon play, California Suite, on Broadway, and Neil Simon named the character Bunny
Interesting.
after me. Because I was still with them, I was professional, and people I worked with called me Bunny.
Wow.
So
People
every
always
once in a
call
while-
me Princess for some reason. I end up getting that name on
At
set.
least you didn't get Princess
I
Bunny.
don't know. No, oh, God.
I like Princess.
Do you have any weird phobias?
Not that I know of. Somebody else might find it. I don't know if I have any phobias.
Nothing scares you?
Horror films scare me. I think it's why I
Really?
love making them, and it's why I love being around the horror crowd.
What are your
It dispels some of my
top
fear.
5 favorite horror movies?
Well, I have to say, the original Dawn of the Dead, I loved, and it was one of the reasons I had to stop watching them because I got so scared. But Colossus of New York, which no one has heard of,
Okay.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. Oh gosh, what's the one that was just a remake of where it comes this
Halloween?
This,
No, I'm just kidding.
No, by that time I was a little bit like didn't really want to watch it. I love the Halloween movie. I mean, I'm a fan of yours, and I got to do a Halloween movie.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of the movie where the spaceship comes down to Earth and then everybody shoots it, and they just did a remake of it. Doggone it! It's because I'm so tired from working so hard. You know.
Who was your favorite actor you've ever worked with?
Favorite as a person or favorite actor?
As a person.
As a person.
Yeah.
I have to say Marion Ramsey.
Nice.
I've worked with wonderful actors, but we stayed so close throughout the years.
Last question. 3 adjectives to describe who you really are.
I have no idea.
There's one. Indecisive. No. Forever changing.
3 adjectives. Who we really are. Hopeful. Oh, look, I wear.
There you go.
It's not just for Obama. Hopeful. I don't know. It's really hard. Did you find people have a hard time with that?
Unless they always think
unless
better
they're
ones
funny,
later.
and they have a good sense of humor. And they come up with.
Well, generous.
Yeah, I hope to be generous, but I always want to be more generous than I can be at the time, or I don't think of something, so I don't think of myself as generous because it's sort of like the hopeful thing. I hope that I will get better at it.
Right.
You know, sometimes I don't have cash when I go by somebody who's collecting for the homeless.
Sure.
And then I berate myself.
Right.
Other people just
hard
walk
on
by and I don't know how they do. Yeah, I would say self-critical. And kind of obsessed with details. It's different like that, don't it? I know as an actress I'm obsessed with detail.
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
It's hard to just let them go.
I understand.
And they all have to be right in either on your body and your mind, and
Well, gotta love what we do for a living.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
When we get to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Leslie.
Thank you, Danielle.